anybody asks me, hey, I'm thinking about starting up in photography or videography. What do you think I should do? My first response to them is,
COVID shut down jobs overnight, but it couldn't take away Troy Brunson talent. I mean that, man. One of the most talented people I've ever met. When I first met you in 2014 is when it was. 2014 when I was the store manager. You walked off the street, and I don't even think you were looking for a job. I can remember.
I was getting an upgrade.
He was getting an upgrade, and I was like, "Yo, you want to work here?" And I had the opportunity to know you, but he learned the hard way that your 9 to 5 can disappear, but your creativity is yours to build on. Today, we're talking about faith, hustle, and the grind of becoming a full-time photographer. That's what you want to do.
Yes.
Full-time photography. Why?
It just gives you the creative ability to do whatever you want. And for me, photography is fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like being able to really make a vision come to life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can do that with videography, but photography, like, you can really put your stamp on it.
Yeah. When did you start dabbling into photography? Like, was it during COVID? Was it?
Yeah, a little bit before, around 2019. I really wanted to do videography at first.
Mm-hmm.
Then I realized that I only like recording my videos. Like, doing somebody else's videos, it just really didn't
do anything for
keep
you.
my attention.
Right. Because then you got to edit and all that stuff too for them, right?
Yeah.
That's a pain in the neck, I would assume.
So I used to do like the comedy skits and everything like that, and I enjoyed doing that. So I thought, like, videos for me.
Mm-hmm.
But when I actually got into it, it's like, no, I think I like photo better.
Photo is cool, and especially with again, now having this camera and understanding. And I hit you up all the time, like, what's f-stop, what's lens and filters, all that stuff. It is cool because what people don't realize, I don't think they don't realize, and I'll say this from the perspective of, had I not gotten into this passion or hobby, what people don't realize is that with photos, you're not selling the photo. What are you selling?
Selling me.
But not just you, but you're selling the memory, right, up to someone else. So if I had you take pictures of my wedding, right, why would I be? Obviously, I'm hiring you because of the work, but you're selling the memory that I'm always going to have.
Correct.
And with photos, and I follow a bunch of photography pages. A good friend of mine, Charles Boyd. I don't know if you know Charles Boyd. Probably not. He's my age. He lives out in New Haven, and he has his own like photography thing too. And he took a pretty dope picture yesterday, actually, of the moon. And I was like, bro, what lens did you use? He said he used a 50 to 200 millimeter, cropped it to 320, and the moon was like, boom. I'll show you it after this. But you're selling memories. You're selling a feeling with pictures. When you get into it, you start doing it pretty much. You said 2019. What are you learning? What are you struggling with? Like,
everything.
But and then what's frustrating you? Like, because I'm curious on that. I think entrepreneurs, and I would put you in that category. Frustration comes more than I don't want to say complacency, but I think frustration comes more than satisfaction. I think, in my opinion, the satisfaction, I think that's part of it. I think it's supposed to be that way. I think you're supposed to be frustrated more than satisfied because you don't learn. What was that for you?
Well, I've learned it takes patience to learn patience.
Takes patience to learn patience.
Because when you're starting something, we're not going to all be LeBron James. We're not going to all have natural talent and everything like that. So starting up with something that you really like, I could really like it and not be good at it.
Yeah.
So when you're starting up, I'm looking up every YouTube video. I'm signing up for classes. I'm taking stock on what kind of styles I like and whose photography I like. Like, I tell everybody, if I follow you on Instagram and you do photography, I enjoy your photography.
Yeah.
I'm not going to follow anybody for whose style or anything like that. Fair. I don't enjoy it. So just looking at those people and then trying to recreate what I'm learning and everything like that, and it not coming out nearly to
You feel like it in the moment too. When you, I remember I was messing around and I backed off a little bit, and it was fun. And I would, if I had more time, I would get into it a little bit more. But like the cinematic content where people are literally like creating videos for like 30 seconds to like 1 minute, and it's just like boom, boom. It's wide shot, close up, half shot, zoomed out, like, and you're telling a story with it. I got into that for a while, but I got really overwhelmed. Like there's so much information out there that I can learn from, and I'm learning too many things at once. And I was just like, I can't do this, because it just kind of almost polluted my mind of like, well, why am I doing this? Two, it's just adding more work to what I'm already doing with the podcast and insurance stuff and all that stuff. Like it's just adding more work, and it's like, it's cool. Maybe just be a spectator on this one. So going back to like the frustration, like what do you remember like being most frustrated about?
Editing.
Oh,
Editing.
pictures. That's got to be different than video.
Yes. Editing pictures, it really takes some thought, and it really takes some time. Getting into a workflow where like you can deliver a client's photos in a couple of days instead of a couple of weeks. So just finding out different techniques, and you can do with photography, you can do the same thing 1,000 different ways.
What do you mean?
So if I'm color grading a photo, I can use 1 million different techniques to color grade that photo. So seeing which one actually works for you and makes your life easier is what you gotta dial into.
Are you color grading in Lightroom?
I do Photoshop mostly.
You do Photoshop color grading, okay? Because with video, and I learned this, like I shoot in S-Log every now and again when I want to mess around. I'll shoot in S-Log too. I just want to mess around with like random stuff. Like I did a video. I was in New London. And I was taking pictures of like one of the more colorful areas in New London, and I shot it in Log, and I went and exported it and color graded. But now you can literally ask ChatGPT to create a LUT for you. Like what?
I hate ChatGPT.
Why? So it's funny. The kid that was just on before you, that's all we talked about. Let's go there. Why?
I think it's a great tool.
Let's make sure we isolate. I want to see what you can say. Tool. Okay, go ahead.
It's a great tool.
Yep.
It can help you in many different ways, but I think it takes the thought process out of a lot of things.
Like what?
So like asking ChatGPT to make you a LUT, you're not learning what ChatGPT is actually doing.
I don't want to learn about it.
And that's why it's a great tool.
Yeah.
But even,
I don't have first of all, I don't have the resource, the time to sit there and study. And that's why I don't use ChatGPT often to do that. Every now and again, I want like some color to pop in a certain video, but not because I want to learn the creative process of color grading, because there's a science to that too.
Correct.
From what there's a lot of like, you got to know color theory and all that stuff. I ain't got time for that. I got 3 kids.
See,
Wife.
So that makes it a great tool for you.
Yes, 100%.
Me, when I want to not only do this as a profession, but I want to deep dive and learn the ins and outs of everything of it, I can't have ChatGPT edit a photo for me.
Fair, because that takes away you as the brand.
Correct.
But what if you could ask it to recommend multiple things to help you? I mean, we all hit creative blocks, right? And in those moments, I think, in my experience, that resistance, when those creative blocks would come, that's where resistance comes. Meaning that if I'm working on editing a podcast, for example, and I have the outline I got to work on, the description, the notes, the title, whatever the case might be for that podcast, and I'm like, man, I can't think of the title. I can't think of the thumbnail. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to take the transcript of this, and this is for anybody watching. This is what I do. Okay? I got 3 kids. A lot of work that it helps and consolidates. So I'll take this transcript, and I'll put the transcript of Troy and Paul into ChatGPT, the whole hour, however long we're going to sit here and talk. And I say, boom, here's the transcript, the PDF file of it. Break this down for me in 10 different titles. Break this down for me where you think the audience is going to be. Because the one thing that with content I struggle with, and I think everybody struggles with, I think with content, it's hard to determine who the audience is on a given day, considering the amount of information and the amount of video that goes out every single day.
Absolutely.
There's billions of videos. I don't say billions, but I think it's billions.
Billions.
Daily
Billions.
daily videos going out, and the algorithms, which I have learned that the algorithm isn't this code of what's getting fed into. It's what's the people want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
What are people paying attention to these days?
Correct.
So I'll ask it like, hey, where does this fit? And then that's where I'll start plugging in my ideas and this and that. So I don't know how it is for photography, but could you see a place where it does automate and simplify workfors for you?
Absolutely.
That doesn't take away from the creative side of you?
Absolutely. So like how you laid it out, how you use ChatGPT for you're using ChatGPT as a tool.
Correct.
You're not using ChatGPT to actually do the work for you.
Correct. Like I can't, like this is me and you, like ChatGPT can't do this.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, could they help me with timestamps and posts and chapters and titles and all that stuff? 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to just, it's like, if you ever grow your business to having a team, right? Why are you doing that? You're doing that because you need the help.
Correct.
Right? You're doing that because you need to maybe have some standard operating procedures. You need to have, simpler workflows. You need to bounce ideas off of somebody. Like, hey, what do you think about this? Or vice versa. They're using you. That's what ChatGPT does for me.
But I know how to do that on my own if I had to.
Yes, but if you scale, let's say you scale.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to a kid on Friday. His episode came out today. He owns a, it's called Public Creatives. Christian Coronado. He owns a branding company, photography, social media, marketing, all that, right? And I had asked him, like, I asked you too, what's the number one struggle in your business right now? And he said time. So time for what? He said time to create all of this procedure so everybody's doing things effortlessly, working on projects without error. And as you scale, as you get bigger, yes, you can do it, but then that takes away from things that you need to do, right? So again, this wasn't part of what I wanted to talk about, but I do think it's really interesting with content that people use ChatGPT for, like, what's the meaning of life? Like, bro, don't use it for that. Like you can, if you want, you can do whatever you want with it, but it's supposed to automate. It's supposed to simplify, like any technology. You've been in the tech game forever.
Yeah.
The iPhones we have today were completely different than we had 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
Completely different. What makes it different? Things are easier to use. It's no different. And I don't think it takes the human element out when I think I see a day when Troy's using ChatGPT.
I wouldn't mind using, again, we go back to that tool thing. I wouldn't mind using ChatGPT as a tool to make my life simpler, because that's all we look for.
Yeah.
Because the more simple you can make it, the more productive you're going to be, more money you're going to make, more clients you're going to draw, and yada, yada, yada. But just some people actually use ChatGPT as a way of life.
Fair. But that's because they don't know how to use it.
And like, all right, so don't want to out her, but I had my sister. She passed the test using ChatGPT. And she told me,
meaning like she was reading the questions and then
yes.
Yeah, okay.
So she's like, hey, I just got 100
on
my test.
You didn't get 100.
Yeah, like, what are you? I'm sorry, but what are you proud about?
Yeah,
you didn't get 100.
It's a fake. That's a fake. No shot to your sister, but that is a false sense of accomplishment. You got the 100, sure, but what did you actually learn throughout that process?
That's the main part. Like, so if you're using, like, everything you're using ChatGPT
just
for,
to learn,
already.
Yep.
So if ChatGPT went down today, you will still be good.
I'd be screwed.
You wouldn't want to do the stuff. I get it with the time and everything like that. You'd be able to, if you brought somebody on, you'd be able to teach them
for sure
what ChatGPT was doing for you.
For sure.
And that's basically what I mean. So know the knowledge. You can use ChatGPT, but know how to do it yourself just in case. Because one day this thing can be gone.
It can be, but it's not going to
It's
be.
not going to. I'm just
not
you know,
going to be.
I'm just
It's
saying.
not
One day
going
it
to
can be gone, or one day you might not have the resources to get to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It can go down, could get hacked, or anything like that, and you don't have the resources to get to it now. What are you going to do?
Yeah. I mean, you make a good point. And that's why I try to isolate that when I'm using it, I use it for one, streamlining things, automation. And I learn. I literally be like, help me understand this. And then I'm reading what I'm seeking to understand. I'll give you an example. I use it as a Bible study tool as well. Like I literally have a GPT Bible that I go in there and I'm like, I'm reading, Philippians chapter 1, blah, blah, blah. This is what I'm doing. And it'll like kind of guide me through the scripture in a way that like I would have never really, sought out. So there's a lot of use cases for it. And I believe not going away, definitely not going away. I was telling this kid before you had got here. So do you know who Omar El Takori is?
I don't.
So he's a content creator. I came across him. Usually I come across these guys from they're being on other people's podcasts that I listen to. And he had some woman on talking about ChatGPT 5. And she was saying that she had her ChatGPT linked to her Google. So meaning that the new one, it was filtering through her email and she asked it to go find the most recent email from her vet and then go schedule a appointment with her vet. And it did it right through that. She was booking flights through ChatGPT. There's a lot of things that could make life much easier, which I see the reluctance where people don't want to give up the control, but give up the damn control. I'm serious. Think about how much money can be made. Just case in point, right? Before Siri came out on Apple, when Siri first came out, you couldn't say, "Hey Siri, text Troy Brunson, how far are you away from my house?" Right away, right? How many times do you use Siri to text now?
I don't really use it that much.
You don't use it that much?
I don't really use that.
I use, man, maybe I'm an old head then because I use it all the time. Like I can, it had 3 conversations within 30 seconds today, all through voice. Hey, following up on life insurance. Hey, I got to get Camden today at 4:30. Hey, your application got sent out. All within 30 seconds. Probably would have took me like a minute to text out to all of them. But the point is that these things have always rolled out to make things easier.
Yeah.
And I'm curious for you and your business, what could make your life easier in your business for work, whether that be lead generation, whether that be branding, which I think you do a really good job with your branding. You mentioned, the fear of posting content and, which I think comes with it's like that imposter syndrome, which I've been talking about a little bit lately, is like, am I good enough? Why am I posting that? Who's going to watch it? What could make your life easier and what you do for me day to day?
Lead generation for sure. Scheduling.
ChatGPT. Just saying. You have a calendar?
Yeah.
You have like a book, like a Calendly or something like that? Or a book? Okay. You can link that up to ChatGPT.
So I get using it as a tool. I get using it as a tool. My biggest standpoint is when people don't use it as a tool, people use it as ChatGPT is me.
Yes. You can tell, listen, how long have you used it for anything?
No.
You have never used it?
I've used it. I've used it once.
Okay.
I've used it once, yeah.
Okay. It's been out for a while. I've been using it since 2022. Literally, I watched a video of Gary Vee and he was like, there's this thing called ChatGPT and I'm telling you guys right now, this thing's going to be revolutionized. And if you guys don't start using it, you're going to be left behind. So I immediately went right to it. Like and I start messing around with it. Like, I can't even remember what my first prompt was. I might've just been like, how do I use you or something? And I've been using it since. But that, right. So just constructive, more of a dialogue. When we have an issue that we need to solve for, lead generation, I think that's a big thing. Scheduling. What do you mean by scheduling first before I go through?
So sometimes I'm doing a million things at once. And I can get 3 bookings
Yep.
and I'm scheduling that booking 2 days later because I forgot in the moment. So that in that sense, like a ChatGPT, like, hey, schedule so and so on this day for this time, because I do kick myself. Sometimes I'm going back in messages to see exactly when we scheduled.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it gets lost in transition.
Because you could literally set up a GPT that's, shots with T GPT, which is a agent for you. We'll call it an agent that literally handles all your bookings. Hey, Paul, you want to schedule a booking? Here's the link. Boom. It will schedule it, put it in your calendar, all that for you. That's a tool.
Yes.
But from what you were saying earlier was like, that's replacing me. I want to do that, right?
No, I want to know how to do it.
You want to know how to do it. Okay. So you just haven't even messed with it at the extent that.
Correct. And it's again, I don't have nothing against, even though I said I hate ChatGPT, but it was more so for and thank you for your like opening up about how you use it.
Yeah.
It was more for the opposite of you.
Yes.
Because I know there's more who are not like you than more that are like you.
So many people are not using it like me. People in my own company don't use it like I use it. I've been using this again since 2022. So when I started seeing this, I'm like, wait, I don't have to write this email? Like I can just be like, I have a system of emails like, hey Troy, I saw your insurance renewal is coming up. Let's take a peek at it again this year. That can be automated. Why wouldn't I want that automated? You know what I mean? Why do I have to go through the effort and send individual text messages or phone calls if I can just have it automated and do it for me? But I think that's what you're saying, that like it's when people, and again, I can spot it so I can tell, but when people are using it to replace them as human, which was what people are afraid of in general, of it replacing the human, but they're using it as a replacement of themselves. And that's tough. That's I don't knock it, but listen, it is what it is. You said, and I feel like you put me in this category. You're talking about me. People think they need the best gear to start, but it's not about that. It's you said it's about the resourcefulness, not the resources. And we talked about it when I first started the podcast. I had the different mics. I didn't have the cameras. I didn't have the lights. I didn't have the setup. I think that most people do that because they need what they think in their mind is the perfect image, the perfect setup, the perfect piece of content that they think will turn into this viral thing.
Yeah.
Right. When you were starting, what did you use at first?
So I first started on what camera was it? It was like a Lycon camera.
A what?
A Lycon.
I never heard of a Lycon.
Or it was either a Lycon or a Panasonic.
Not a Nikon?
No.
Lycon. Well, I never.
When I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take this serious.
Yeah.
Brought one of those cameras, and then I did what I'm telling people not to do.
You went to ChatGPT?
And probably told me to get this quick.
Yeah.
So I went out and I'm like, you know what? Forget that. I'm gonna buy what I think I need to get started. I still haven't started.
Yeah.
But yet I'm buying, and mind you, if you know about this, this equipment in any content creation industry is expensive.
It's very expensive.
It's expensive. Anybody asks me, hey, I'm thinking about starting up in photography or videography. What do you think I should do? My first response to them is, don't do it as a hobby.
Don't do it as a hobby. Do it as a business. Yes, that's
good. Make
good
something
advice.
Off of it, because
that's
the investment you're going to put into it.
That's good advice.
At least break even.
I think people say that, and I'll tell you why. I think people say that though because they don't want to cloud their judgment on what they ultimately want to do. So I'll give you an example. I had Rajay Davis on. Rajay Davis played for the Cleveland Indians at the time of 2016. He was on my seventh or eighth episode. We talked about, he had a tying home run in the World Series, Game 7. And him and I talked about it off record. And he was like, what's your plans with the podcast? I'm like, I'm just doing it. It's a hobby. It's fun. And he's like, you're not planning on monetizing? And I'm like, no, I have no, like, but I think we tell ourselves a lie, which goes back to the imposter syndrome. Like, why would I ever make money because of this?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a lie that we tell ourselves, because all it takes is reps. That's all it takes. Literally, all this takes is reps. Like, if you listen to my first episode, and now even today in my more recent, so not every episode's perfect. My presentation's better.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like this. My editing, like when I've dialed down a really good edit. Like when you watch the full episode of this, like the edit, like I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I've gotten pretty good at, like, when you open up every single of the last probably 20 episodes, it looks the same but different because it's a different guest.
Mm-hmm.
But it presents itself the right way. I try to be thoughtful in how I'm hearing questions and what I'm answers and what I'm, what the conversation. But I wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So when we say, oh, it's a hobby, and I love that you said, don't do it as a hobby. I think it's just because we're telling ourselves that we can't do it. I really do, my opinion. And that goes back to, like, kind of what I'm curious on, like, in your mindset of, you said you had to put out more. You feel like you have to put out more content, but you don't. In the sense of what I asked you the other day, what's the number one thing you struggle with? And I'm curious where that framework is. Like, why do you feel like that?
It's more of a me thing. Since I've started this, I've been my biggest critic, and it's not that I don't have any, how would I say it, belief in myself, and it's not a such thing as too much belief, but I do have too much belief in myself. So when I put out something, it's usually like, this could be much better.
What are you criticizing? Give me an example.
So, like, if I do an event, if I do a wedding, I'll get home. First thing I do is I upload it to the computer.
The first thing you do is that you just go right to it.
No, I have to save it. I have to make sure
the files,
upload it, make sure it's their backup of
Gotcha.
I won't touch that wedding probably for a couple of days. I won't even look at a picture.
That's fair.
Probably for a couple of days, because I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
And I immediately
start feeling like, what the hell is this? Gotcha.
I was like, is this even for me? And that self-doubt comes over me, but it's like, because you're better than this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I give it a couple of days, and then I start to come down a little bit. And then it's like, oh no, this is good. This is good. But we can do better.
Okay.
We can do much better.
Sure.
And then I start looking for things that I've done. Like every shoot I do, I want to learn something.
Yep.
And I want to master that mistake so that I'm learning a new mistake.
Okay.
So, because mistakes are going to happen.
What's wrong with that though?
Nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with it.
So, because what you just said to me is like, I load it up, but I can't look at it right away.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me it's like you understand, one, you're exhausted from your day, probably. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of work. You're doing all that. The second piece is you're giving yourself time to, one, I'll put this in the analogy of golf. I'm not a great golfer, but I like golfing. Mm-hmm. At the end of every round, I feel like, oh, man, this, again, could have did this, could have did that. But when I lay down at night, every shot from that day just plays in my head. First hole, second hole, third hole, fourth hole, fifth hole. And I can finally like decompress of like, oh, okay, I could have did this or I could have did that. But shouldn't the criticism be part of the growth?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just pushing it forward. So just coming out of that shell and being open to my self-criticism. Because it's gonna happen regardless. Yeah. So like, as far as me pushing out content every day, be open to that. It's not about the audience that is like hindering me. It's myself. And it's that constant battle within myself. Like, listen, just do it and we'll get through it.
What are you afraid of?
It's not a fear.
But there's something underlying though that's holding you back. And
I've been searching for that.
Okay.
I've literally been searching for that.
Is there a comparison problem?
No.
No. Okay.
Because even with the comparisons, I'll compare me to me.
Okay.
So I'm able to look back at my old stuff and
How-
look at my new stuff and be like, yeah, we're getting better.
So you're getting better. Okay. How much of it happens to be because you had a video go viral?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I don't refresh my memory. I don't remember what the video was because this was during COVID, right?
Yeah, I tore my Achilles. I was sitting home with my dog, and I just was messing with her, and I just happened to like TikTok's editing better than Instagram's. So the video was for Instagram,
Okay.
but I like TikTok's editing better.
Okay.
So I'm like, I just edited on TikTok. I might as well post it on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then it ended up getting 19 million views.
19. Yo. All right. So, okay. What was the video? It was just of your dog?
It was me. I'm sitting on the couch and I pretended to eat her face. And then like the last time I grabbed her face, she like made this crazy face and people just ate it up.
That's crazy. Did TikTok reach out to you?
No.
No. So it just went viral, nothing, no monetization, nothing from it?
Yeah, I made $500 of it.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Did they buy it from you or they just hit you with 500
No,
bucks?
you can become a creator. So it's funny because you got to get to a certain point before you could become a creator and actually make money off of it. So
what's the point?
It was first you had to hit 10,000 followers.
Yeah. Okay.
Hit 10,000 followers, and then you can monetize it, and then it started making money off of there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got you can make an account.
Yeah. Yeah.
You couldn't make an account until you get another something followers.
Interesting.
And then you can do all of that, and they like have you link your bank account and everything like that.
That's
Start
crazy.
making money off of it.
So do you think, and this is just discussion, do you think part of that criticism comes from something as simple as that, right? So it's so simple video, right? You took a video of your dog and you pretend you're eating her face and then she made a wild face back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Right? 8 seconds maybe. And then you are doing all this other stuff that requires maximum effort and attention to detail. And do you think maybe there's like an underlying fear that like you wanted to kind of do the same thing, or you not care about that?
Kind of. So that could be something underlying, like you said. Like I did a 10-second video of my dog and got 130,000 followers off of it, and I can do a 10-hour video, a 10-hour process video, and I get a like off of it. So
sure. One of the things that has worked for me, and I think that most people don't do this and they should, is detach from the outcome. Mm-hmm. If you can detach from the outcome of what you want to accomplish, I think that, I believe that makes it easier to create. I'm not saying that everything's going to go viral. I'm not saying that you're going to make a ton of money. I'm not saying you're going to be successful in your content if you define your success of content by dollars and audience. Mm-hmm. To me, I don't attribute my success to the numbers because I'm not making money off of this. I don't have a large audience. I have 720 subscribers on YouTube, and I have almost 5,000 downloads on listening apps. And disclaimer, the reason why I have 720 viewers on YouTube is because I transitioned from the Open Exchange podcast channel to my old channel that had already 650. And I was thinking like, why don't I just leverage that account that I already had to see what happens? And I just put everything through there. And now it's like, my goal is to just create almost like a Netflix out of my channel, right? There's different things you can watch. You can watch the podcast stuff. I have like this thing called Open Thoughts that I have toyed around with. I'm doing this documentation of me trying to build the business from 0 to 1 million in 12 months. Like there's a bunch of things that I'm just filtering into it. But the one thing that I had to disconnect from very early was the numbers. Because if you watch the numbers, my coworker says this perfect. His name's Walter Cloud. He was actually on my podcast. We just finished up a life insurance contest. The life insurance contest is 12 weeks long, and the best in the country won this. We won it. Me, him, and 3 others in my office. We won this contest. But around 8 weeks into this life insurance contest, and if you saw some of my content, there was a lot of life insurance stuff that I was pumping out for a little bit. If I submitted your application today, I would go in there and look at it tomorrow. and the next day and the next day. And there'd be no movement or some movement or something. And he would call it, you're watching the pot boil. He's like, nothing's going to happen when you watch the pot boil. The food's still going to cook, but watching it, you don't see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I have channeled that mentality in content. I'll post, I don't care what. And I have no attachment to whatever the numbers is. If it does well, great. If it doesn't do well, awesome. Because believe it or not, what I've also realized is that one view is one eyeball that I would have never had.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If I have 1,000 views on one, cool. I don't need to go viral. Most people don't need to go viral. They need to create. I think most people need to create versus consume and keep creating. Because if, again, detaching from that and saying, you know what, I don't care of the result, whatever happens, but I'm doing this because I enjoy it. Do I want to make a business out of it? Sure. Yeah, for sure. But at the very least, it allows you to enjoy the process.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say if there's anything that you should take away or anybody takes away from this is when you create without expectation of that outcome. You know what the outcome is. You know what you want, but detach from it. That'd be my.
So my question to you is, what are some of the things that you've done? Because I know you didn't just wake up and just say, I'm detached. Like, what are some of the things that you've done to help you get to that point where like you can post something and just,
Good question. It does. Man, what did I do and when did I do it is the question. I want to say, so I jumped into, and I'm back in it. There's a website called Podmatch.
Mm-hmm.
And what Podmatch does, it literally is like Tinder for podcasters. And when I started the show, I was doing everything in person and meeting people and bringing all my stuff and lugging in all that stuff. And when I joined Podmatch, it kind of took away from what I was trying to create originally, like the foundation of bringing people on and talking to them about things. And it kind of put me in this like mindset of, oh man, now I'm a podcaster. So now I got to do mad videos, and like it became overwhelming. Like I'm thinking to myself, well, why do I need to do that? What's the why behind me doing videos with people that I don't even know? And I'm cool with doing it with people I don't know, but ideally I'd like to do it here in this kind of setting, face to face and cameras and all that stuff. And so I took a step back and I jumped off of that platform for a little bit, and I had to kind of have that reevaluation. I was like, why am I doing this? Number one was it's giving me the opportunity to sit down on a intimate level with somebody, right? Like, how often do you get to sit here and just chop it up one-to-one with somebody? I mean, I don't, like I network with a lot of people. I go to tons of events, 3-4 events a month. I see people, I shake hands and kiss babies, if you will, but I don't get the opportunity to have this kind of dialogue, right? So that was number one. Number two, I wanted to figure a way how I could be at 1,000 different places at once. So in my mind was, okay, I can be at this event. I can only talk to 15 people for maybe 5-10 minutes, and not at, like I said, not at a like hour and a half clip. But my reach for my business, where can I expand to? Okay, now Troy, when we post this video out, people obviously see you, they see me, but now I'm in the face of whoever's in your audience because I posted this video. So I knew that long term for me was not growth of the show, not growth of my content, but growth for my business, because I sell insurance and I want to be someone who knows me as Paul Martinez, the insurance guy, but he also has a podcast. Oh, that's dope. Now people can go through an archive of content and get to know me and determine whether or not they want to do business with me or they like me. And some might not. Like, I'm okay with that. So to answer the question, I think it came probably after like 15 episodes or so where I was like, all right, I need to detach from the outcome. Now it's a lot of work because like I still also feel that. Like, I think that we have to isolate the two and say, hey, I'm still going to feel that imposter syndrome, but I'm not going to act on the behaviors of an imposter. You know what I mean? When we are in a position, which I believe is a leverage position, we should be executing on what we know, not releasing our content, not releasing whether it's good, bad. If we felt bad about it, let the market determine whether that's bad or not. For example, the market determined that your video is worth 19 million views. Like, what? That's crazy. Let the market determine if this video is good or bad. And don't let your judgment be clouded, because what happens is you start watching those and then you don't want to produce the next one. You start getting in your head and like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. So don't get me wrong. I have YouTube analytics on my phone. I have analytics on my for the Instagram account. I go to those to see like what's performing well, what time to do this. But I'm not letting it hinder my future stuff. I'm using it as a tool, right? To say, okay, where do I move? Where do I put this video? Like, I know today I'm going to post another video today at 6, based off of the stuff that I'm working on. So it's being able to look at it from a lens of why not? I have nothing now from this 0 to 12 or 0 to 1 million, 12 months. I'm going to have nothing if I don't post anything. But if I don't start, you got to start somewhere. So therein lies like, there's a lot of things that go into it. You have to have this conscious effort and be intentional to say, you know what, I got to make this decision for myself. So even right now, like I posted it the other day. I think I posted it yesterday. I wasn't going to because of that imposter syndrome, but I'm not acting like an imposter. I feel it, but I'm not going to act like it. I was the whole clip, the whole YouTube video that I posted, the 0 to 1 million in 12 months. I posted the link on Facebook, and I posted like, some people are going to laugh. Some people are going to think I'm crazy, but it's doing me no good if I just hang on to this and don't share it with people. And that's it. And I think a lot of it too comes from my sports background. I think a lot of it comes from the insurance business that I've been in now for 10 years, having worked in sales with you, that rejection is part of the process.
Correct.
I could say, God is good and put this video short, 3 seconds. God is good, put it on social media, and somebody's going to be like, God ain't real. God's this. Who's God? Like, why are you posting this? That's part of the market. That's part of the America we live in. That's part of just sales. I don't think that we need to be, especially as creatives. Like I feel like as a creative, someone who, and I say this and I'm like, man, you're not creative. I could feel it. I could feel my like soul telling me I'm not a creative. That's just the way we're wired. Like, I'm a creative. You're a creative. Like, this is what we are. But unfortunately, what again, and we'll go through some stuff here. I think unfortunately, the market is so saturated that we see a lot of good stuff that even if we don't want to tell the truth to ourselves, that we compare ourselves to that. I compare myself to the Joe Rogans. Like, why the hell am I comparing myself to Joe Rogan? I'm not Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? So it's easy to fall into that trap, and then the imposter syndrome feels here, and it's easy to act on it. And I say, don't act on it. Don't act on it. Literally, give yourself the grace. You're putting in the work anyway. And that was another thing too. And I'll leave you with this because we have a lot to cover. After about 12 episodes, I was like, yo, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And they say most people don't go past 10. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And I remember thinking, Paul, like, you literally have booked like 25 episodes. You're going to tell these people no? Like, these people want to come onto the show. You're doing this for a reason. So you have to identify what the real why is. Why am I doing this? Is it for money? Is it for pure passion? Is it for growth? What is the reason? And I think, especially as men, it's easy to discount how capable we are because of things that happen externally. And I think it's just a lie we tell ourselves. So for me, I'm always like, oh, just do it. Literally just do it. Like, and I have taken that mentality for anything that I do. Like, what do I have to lose? There's a saying that I've been saying, and I'll leave you here with this. No ask, no get. You don't post, you're not going to know. You're not going to learn from the post. And then it's like all the other content stuff is like, all right, how did I package this one episode versus how I packaged this episode? What was the thumbnail? What was the title? What was the description? Okay. Well, you have to look at it from the lens of how do I get better? As opposed to what are people going to think? Because ultimately that's what it is. You say it's a critic of yourself. It's not a critic of yourself. The noise is what you think or what you perceive other people are going to see. I could be wrong on that, but I just know, like, I posted a video the other day that I was like, yo, this is going to create some chaos. I knew it was going to, and it did. I only deleted it because I just didn't want to put a bad rap on the person that was on the show. But I did, and I knew it was going to do that. I knew there was going to be noise behind it. But that's part of it. Like, just throw it out there. Let it work. Let it do its own thing. Let the market dictate how your content's going to go. Sorry, I just went on a tangent there.
No, that's a good tangent. That was a good tangent.
But listen, we only have one life to live.
Absolutely.
Like, I heard this. He's like, at the end of the day, what's going to happen? Two things. You got to pay your taxes, and you're going to die. Those two things. So why not control what you can control? My boss says it. My boss's boss says it. Great. Jeremy Connery. Control the controllables. Can you control posting your content? Yes, you can.
Absolutely.
Can you control how people react? No, you can't. Should that stop you? No. 100%. I don't think it should. And, you said that in the thing that I sent over to you, learning how to control only what's in your control. What did that mean for you?
And again, that's great that you segued into that, because that's what I'm learning. So there's a lot of things that I really stand on when it's like control what you can control. Mm-hmm. Like when I'm in the work environment, there's a lot of things I can't control. The company decides to go a different direction. Some issues happen. Like there's things I can't control, so I don't dwell on. And trying to apply that to every aspect of my life has been a little bit difficult, because there's some areas that I thrive on, and then there's some that I need work, just like the content posting. I control every aspect of that. And that's one of the things that are falling off.
Sounds like you're unorganized. No disrespect.
Could be.
No disrespect.
Could be.
And I can only connect that because I was very unorganized. You know what I mean? And again, this is just for dialogue and conversation.
Listen, like that's
no disrespect. I'm also, when I don't do well, I'm not organized in that week. What's making my day flow perfectly today is that I knew this morning I had to drop my kid off at school. I knew when I got back, I had to work out. I knew that I had to finish up some content stuff. I had like a 30-minute window. Then I knew I had somebody else coming in at 10 o'clock, and that you were coming at 12. And between 11 and 12, I had some work stuff I had to do. When you leave here, I got some work stuff to do. If none of this is in my calendar, I'm not doing it. Literally not doing it. And I think that when it comes to changes for business, changes for our personal health and well-being, even with like New Year's resolutions, we try to make these massive leaps because, going back to what I was saying earlier, we attach ourselves to the outcome and forget that it takes all these little steps to get to that outcome. You have to have an audit of your business, an audit of Troy, an audit of Paul, not just you, an audit of anybody, and ask yourself, what are my non-negotiables? And that's going to look different for everybody. Some people say, I can't start the day without working out. Some people say, I can't start the day without praying. Some people say, I can't start the day without spending time with my wife, spending time with my kids. Whatever the non-negotiable is for you, that needs to be at the core of you and your business, like almost like your mission for you. This has to be in there. Okay, now, all right, like I know for me, for what I'm trying to create after this, at some point today, I'm going to reach out to 5 more people and be like, yo, hey, quick question. What's the number one thing you struggle in your business? Like, you just know that. These things are so small that we need to do that we overcomplicate them and we just don't do them. We again attach into that New Year's resolution body January 1, and when we don't see it on January 5 or January 6 or 7, we're like, oh, why am I doing this? Let me just stop. It's just the way our brains are wired, that we are so used to not doing because it's comfortable. I don't think life should be comfortable. I think anything requiring growth needs to be uncomfortable. I think anything that you want to succeed in, you need to push yourself to not saying no to not doing it. So, going back to your question earlier, is like, the reason why I have been able to detach from is that I've just been saying, you know what, just do it, just do it, just do it, and don't watch it. And I've been comfortable with the fact that, like, I'm just doing what I like doing, and the rest will follow. So get organized with your thoughts and ideas. Use ChatGPT because it helps. Hey, here's what I'm working on. This is what I'm doing. Give me a Monday through Friday, like real quick, just for the sake of this, right? Like, I just want you, and it's wild what you can do too. And I did this earlier I think it's the coolest thing. Check this out. Hey, chat, I'm here with my friend Troy Brunson. He owns his photography business. We were discussing here some struggles that entrepreneurs have. And I was identifying that there might be some gaps in his organization and potentially might be the reason why he feels maybe a little bit self-critical on some of the things that he does. Before we answer the questions, what are some things you need to know about Troy and how you can help him organize maybe his month or his week or his day that could be maybe broken down into small tasks and maybe make it like 3 or 4 non-negotiables per week?
Absolutely, Paul. Let's get into it. And hey, Troy, it's nice to virtually meet you. I love that you're looking to break things down into really tangible chunks. So to do that well, a few things that would help me help you guys would be to know first how Troy currently structures his time. Like, is he working in big blocks of just creative work? Is he mixing admin and creative, that kind of thing? Second, what his biggest pain points are in terms of feeling disorganized. And then finally, what does he consider a win each week? Like, what makes him feel like, hey, I really accomplished something? Once we know those, we can totally break it down into a few weekly non-negotiables that'll give him structure, but not overwhelm him.
Crazy. It's wild. But you can use it for that, right? Like, you can use it to identify gaps in what you're doing, what you're trying to do, what you want to accomplish. And to be honest, like, I've been less anxiety ridden or stressed out about my even just day to day with work, with insurance, based off of this thing, because it helps me navigate through like what works for the business. So, try that. Like, not, so you don't have to try the ChatGPT thing, but try figuring out like, what are your non-negotiables? What are you going to excel at? You know what you're good at and you know what you're not good at. There's some, you know what you know and you know what you don't know. So what you don't know, start learning about it. And I think that ultimately can lead to a more satisfying feel of, I'm posting what matters to me, and I don't care if it matters to anybody else. I really do. Your faith dwindled.
Yeah.
Walk me through what's going on.
So
you don't have to, if you don't feel like getting into detail, that's fine. But
since the year started, it was just like everything. I think it was just my trying year. So through my whole life, I've been that person that would help everybody out with their struggles.
Sure.
Something bad happens. I'm the person that can tell you, hey, you know what I mean? It would be better. You could try this. You could try just offering up solutions.
Sure.
But I got thrown into that realm where I've never been before, where I need the solutions. And I'm no longer that person that is giving the advice. I need it.
Sure.
Everything every day is just more rain. And it's just like, can't get worse than this.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Something else. So it was just like, I did find myself having a why me moment. Like, why is this going on with me? Because I pride myself on just being the best person I can be.
Of course.
Trying to be striving to be a genuine person as much as I can be.
Yeah.
I'm human at the end of the day. We all have our faults, but just being the best person I can be. And it was just like all this stuff is just happening to me. And I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it really made me start leaning heavily on, seeing the people that are really in my corner, and doing things differently, having a new outlook, and actually God just brought me in closer. So I think I asked for it.
You think you asked for the pain and rain? Okay. What do you mean?
I asked God to make me better.
Okay. Okay. I like that.
I asked God to make me better. Before all this started happening, I asked God to make me better. Do what you need to do to make me better.
I like that.
I didn't like
I'm sure
what was going on.
You went through a refining process, though.
And it definitely helped me discover myself, and know what I want, where I want to go, and the person that I want to be. I don't wish it on anybody. I lost 2 kids.
You lost 2 kids?
Lost 2 kids. First one had a miscarriage, and then
oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
The next one, I was supposed to have a little baby girl.
Oh man, sorry to hear.
So like relationships dwindled, and I just.
Do you have kids?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
So it was just so fucking much going on.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. ChatGPT can't fix that.
It got to a point where I just was in a guarded state. I was just waiting around for the next hit. I brought a new car. A month later, it got crashed into by a drunk driver, and like my car is like basically in half, and I'm just like, shit, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's going on? My engine blew on my other car. That made me have to buy another car.
Wasn't that recent?
Yeah, my car is almost paid off.
You gotcha.
Low mileage. My engine blew.
Gotcha. That sucks. That sucks.
Right after warranty expires. So it's just like things are just like, what?
Yeah.
But like I asked God, make me better, and I came out of it a better person. So it's just looking toward more of these ways to make me better and growing with Him. Getting in, makes me want to open my Bible. So getting into the Bible is just. Like I haven't yet. I'll be honest.
That's okay.
Haven't yet. But it's just like little steps on just becoming better. Because I don't want to repeat of last year.
Yeah. So the little step is open the Bible and just read one sentence. You don't have to open up and read the.
I do it on my phone.
Okay,
I do it on my phone. I have a friend who
fine.
sends me daily devotionals and stuff like that. So I talk to God more because I was one of those people that went to God.
When you needed Him.
When I needed Him. And the simple thing we make, like you said, simple things we make complicated. Just waking up and say, thank you, Lord. That wasn't a thing for me.
Yeah.
But when I'm in some hot water, God, please get me out of this. Please.
Of course.
Please.
Of course. Yeah.
He's like, damn, Troy, I'm talking to you more than I ever talk to you now.
Yeah.
So like, that's one of those things is just appreciating when you just don't need something, just appreciate to be appreciative.
Yeah.
So
I'll say, and thank you for sharing that. I think anybody who goes through things, and especially if you're a believer, it's easy and everybody can relate to. I only went to God during these moments in my life. I recently have rediscovered my faith in Christ, and honestly, you going back to your question earlier is like, how do I disconnect from the numbers and all that stuff? It's because I put it all in God's hands. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and put Him first. But it's easy as people to look at circumstance, and very much, and I'm glad you shared it. Look at circumstance and say, man, why am I being dealt this hand of cards? You said something about that car, drunk driver hitting you. You could have been in the car. You know what I mean? So I do believe that you say, hey, God, change me. And these are, I don't know if they're acts of God. I think that your prayer to God saying, hey, change me, these things probably still would have happened if you didn't say that. But now you are in the thought process of the Holy Spirit. And like, okay, Like this is kind of stuff that needs to happen to shape me to who I'm trying to become. You know, my recent connection happened because I have had several people on my podcast talk about God and talk about Christ and talk about their faith and whatnot. And I thought, I said, man, like, you know, all these people have what it appears to be real foundation, real relationship with Christ, real relationship with God. And I don't have that. And I thought I did. So I said, similar concept, said, God, like, I don't have a relationship with you. Like, I thought I did, but I don't. Like, so it leads me to the Bible. And one of the things, and I said this on a show with a gentleman, Pastor Samuel Gonzalez, I said, one of the biggest things biggest lies I've ever told myself is that God doesn't forgive me and forgive all of my sins. And the moment that I was able to accept that he forgives me for all of my sins, anything that I've done bad in my life, because we are born into this world of sin. We are not sinless. When I accepted that is when I've been able to surrender one of the biggest things in my life. I think you said, you know, God won't put more on you than you can't bear. I think you might have said that. And I had a conversation with my podcast, Walter Cloud, a year ago, and he said same thing. You know, God's not gonna put more on than you could bear. No one ever says, or no one ever understands that the weight's still going to be heavy. Doesn't mean that you can't bear it, but the weight's still going to be heavy.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, it's, I think it's part of the process of life, in my opinion. I think these things are supposed to happen, because if everything was perfect, why would we need God? We wouldn't need God. And you know, there can be all sorts of angles on this, whether it be, you know, poverty, sickness, chaos in the world, chaos in the media. All these things need to happen so we can glorify God. Because if we can't, and again, the number one thing that I've been is just, like you say, gratitude. Gratitude literally is, man, God, thank you. Like, you didn't have to pick me, but I'm here. You know, I could be homeless. I have no house. I have no wife. I have no kids. There's a good book that you should read if you're ever going to pick up the Bible and start reading it. That's outside of the app, and you know, it's not like the app's cool. I go to the app all the time, but the Book of Job is one of my favorite books, because Job was considered righteous in every possible way. He was faithful to God. This is an Old Testament book. He goes to God and he says, you know, God, I'm going to take everything away from him. And I think it's just that same kind of mindset with everything we just talked about today is trust the process, right? Trust what we're creating. Trust that tomorrow's going to bring new challenges. Trust that you're going to get into traffic when you leave here, going back up 95.
That's for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I have never, I mean, I won't say I never, but outcomes now have completely, I know what I want. Like, I know when I bowl tonight, I want to bowl a 300. Like, I know that. But from my first shot to my 10th shot, I'm not thinking about the 300. I'm thinking about that shot. Shot in frame 1, shot in frame 2, shot in frame 3. I think that's just anything in life, is just detach from the outcome. You're going to get less stressed out if you're stuck in traffic for 45 minutes if you didn't think, man, unless you have like a deadline to be somewhere. But you're going to be less stressed out. You know what I mean? You know, you're going to, you definitely, you know, when you start opening up the Bible, which I've been doing, I've been less stressed out for sure. You know, because this has probably been my hardest year. This last calendar year has probably been one of the harder years of my life. A lot of it's self-inflicting. And I can never look at it and be like, God, why me? Not that I'm just, you know, because for me, I make my own choices. I'm accountable for myself. And when I look at life, these things are supposed to happen. I truly believe it. That's how character is being built. That's how, if you go work out at the gym Monday through Sunday, and you're putting yourself through hell, that's work. You're sculpting yourself to be a better person. I don't think that level of work, that when you're sculpting yourself physically, is any different than the work that we have to do on a day-to-day basis, whether that be for ourselves, whether that be with God, whether it be whatever. There's a good documentary that I want you to read, and we'll wrap up with this. Watch. You have Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't watched it already, and I've said it a few times on my show. Actually, I want to rewatch it. It's called Stutz. It's Jonah Hill and his therapist. You know what Jonah Hill is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jonah Hill and his therapist. And Jonah is blind or secretly interviewing his therapist while going through a therapy session. And the film is about his therapist, but not about Jonah Hill, if that makes sense. So again, it's Jonah interviewing his therapist.
Mm-hmm.
His therapist thinks that the camera crew is for the interview for Jonah, but in turn, Jonah is highlighting very subtly how he's changed based off of his therapist, basically accrediting his therapist for all this stuff. And there's a really important piece here that I think about all the time. And I really try to stay true to it, but it's hard. And it's when I first came across this documentary, I felt my absolute best when he talks about this thing called the life force. And it's this triangle, it's a pyramid. And in the pyramid, there's 3 tiers. The first tier is the relationship with yourself. The second tier is your relationship with others. And then the top tier is your relationship with spiritually, whoever it is, God, whatever. When those 3 things are running congruently, working in the same direction, everything in your life feels good. Everything feels great because you're focusing on your health physically, what you're eating, what you're doing, working out, and then you are working on your relationships, which is the next layer of your life, and then your relationship with God. I followed that for like 6 months, and man, I felt the absolute best I have ever felt in my life. And things happen, and I get distracted, but that still sticks with me. I'm still mindful of that piece. You should definitely check it out. There's not a lot of people that I can not see for 10 years and then still pick up the dialogue like we hadn't seen each other. I mean, 10 years is a long time almost. Let's say 8 years. We'll give it some grace. 8 years. There's not a lot of people that could do that. I wish I could go back because, I was 10 years younger in the sense of, health and whatnot. I just turned 36, so, time is fine, but there's not a lot. And when I met you in 2014 and kind of how I opened up, and this is how we'll close is, I knew you were hungry. I knew that you were passionate about anything that you would do. You were a fast learner. Like, what was that thing called? The customer survey thing was like, you got to get 100 or whatever. Mm-hmm. You held yourself to a standard of excellence. You still do that. And I think that, don't forget that. I think we can easily forget who we were because of who we're becoming. Mm-hmm. We can't forget about that ambition that we had. So before we let you go, Troy, do you have anything else? Because another tangent here. But anything else? Where can people find you? Your work? What are you promoting? Like that.
Oh, well, for all your photography needs, events, portraits, family portraits, wedding photographies, you can go to my Instagram. Currently, my website is down, but it's being worked on as we speak. But you can. My Instagram handle is Shots with T. Shots is with a Z. You can find all my work up there and how to contact me and everything like that. But just been great, man.
This is good, man. For sure. This is good.
After so long.
Long time.
Listen, just let the audience know, when I first met Paul, instant connection.
Oh, definitely, bro.
He's definitely always been one of my best mentors, big brother to me.
Appreciate it.
You know what I mean? Taught me a lot. You know what I mean? Listen, a lot of what I like built within sales and how I manage is a lot from you.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, thank you. And a lot of this is all from you, man. This is, I think I reached out to you like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And, cameras, even the setup and all that stuff, this is, it's been motivating because, I think you said something, we didn't even talk about much about it. And I might have to split this up into a couple of episodes, but, I don't believe in gatekeeping. You know what I mean? Everybody, there's enough room that everybody can eat.
Absolutely.
There's enough sand in the sandbox to play. And, I think one of the most valuable things any entrepreneur business person can do is don't gatekeep what works for you, and what's worked for you. And you won't know if it's working if you don't post it.
Absolutely.
So make sure you post it. You know what I mean? And just post it and don't watch it. Post it and I have that tendency of like, I posted something earlier, I'll like go to it within like 3 minutes. How many likes you got? Who's watching? Blah, 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 how many views? I'll do that only because I know I'm not getting upset with how the outcome is going to be. You know what I mean? So it's like detaching from the outcome. So Troy Brunson, funny story real quick too.
One second.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing about gatekeeping too. Anybody out there, if you're a gatekeeper, if anything you can show me in the same realm can benefit, it can affect negatively your business and what revenue you bring in, you're not working hard enough.
Yep. 100%.
I can show you my whole workflow and everything like that, but I'm still confident in me and what I control.
Period.
So that's not going to affect me negatively.
Period. And that's why I think that there's so much more opportunity and there's a lot more money to get in this space. It might take a long time. You know what I mean? This isn't, 2020 or 2001 or 2003, whatever year it was, crypto, Bitcoin. And this is not what it is. And a lot of people, I think, when they get into this space, in any space, this space, sales, real estate, you see a lot in real estate where realtors fall off the cuff, who gotten into it during COVID because everybody was making money during COVID. Everybody was booming and like, oh, I'm a realtor, blah, blah, blah. And that's cool. No shots at them. But there's a lot of people who just don't do it anymore or are not committing to it because of how long of a process it actually takes. I felt like that when I got into insurance in 2015. There was probably a 2 to 3 year window that I wanted to quit insurance completely and I just didn't want to do it. That's just the nature of the beast. Anything worth having requires hard work. The money, the success, the growth, all that requires work. So put in the time and the rest is going to follow. So funny story I was going to share. For the longest time, I didn't realize, because you weren't Shots with T on Instagram at first, I don't think. I can't remember, but I remember being like, who the hell's this Shots with T person? And for the longest time, like I just never realized that it was you. And I'm like, this is wild. But anyway, guys, Open Exchange on YouTube on the Paulie M channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow the show. Go listen to this episode on all listening platforms, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and whatever else you listen to. Make sure you follow Troy, Shots with T, the work he's doing good work. And I hope you guys took something from the show. Appreciate your time, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, man.